Start the stream?
Yes.
Okay. Patrick, you are live.
Yes, we have now, today I am diving on the western side. We have now, today I am diving on the western 13 metres deep right now, so about, what's that, 50 feet down. Now, I am going through, I'm on the left-hand side of the Casuarina Point today, and I'm going to be heading out to the sand patch and looking around for a nurse shark, then coming back along the reef to the shallows. And while I'm coming up, finally, if you have any questions whatsoever, please send them in. And make sure, if you're on Twitter, to use the hashtag diveLIVE. Let's go diving. Say hello, Lauren.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us this morning. I'm really excited for Pat. I feel like this is going to be a good dive. The weather has improved up on the surface as well. So Pat, I would really like to see a turtle. It has been too long. But can you also keep an eye out for a new species of hamlet for me?
Yeah, definitely. So this side of the reef does have a lot of hamlets, and I will definitely be looking out. I did just see one around here before, but that's a sky hamlet which we haven't seen before. But I will be on the lookout for you.
Great. So how is the visibility today, and what depth are you at?
So I am at 13 metres deep. Oh, shark, shark.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Do you want to stay as quiet as possible?
All right. So, can we see it?
Yes, perfectly. I'm so excited right now.
Stay very quiet right now.
I will stay quiet too.
What a sight.
This is amazing.
Oh, wow. So we can see it's got a roar on the underside of the body now. There's a bit something on the shark, and we'll pretty much be hitchhiking it, taking it around and it's always got the shark.
Remora just under the shark's tail. And look at the way it's swimming using that enlarged, elongated tail fin. Wow!
So this comes on over the ring, and I'm not sure whether it's a luminous or not.
So Pat, shall I share some information on nurse sharks while you're trying to find it again?
Sorry, what was that?
Shall I share some information on nurse sharks?
Yeah, definitely.
Or should we stay quiet? Questions, Pat? So I'll have to speak a little bit louder, okay? So are you ready to answer some questions, or would you rather stay quiet?
Well, it looks like we have lost it for now. Yeah, so we'll keep on continuing the dive, and will you please send in any shark questions that you have about that nurture.
Well, to get you started, Proud Cat Mama is asking, do these sharks ever attack people?
Sorry, what was that?
Do these sharks, nurse sharks, ever attack people?
Well, I have actually heard and seen footage of people getting attacked by nurse sharks. Well, not really attacked. They are sometimes they can be curious, and so they have bitten people. But they don't have very sharp teeth. They still can definitely inflict a wound, but they're not as scary and as painful as some of the bigger, more picky sharks.
I think in general they don't attack though. I think what Pat means is they're just curious about people, but they're definitely not an aggressive type of shark. They're known as a sleepy shark or the couch potato, and they will not attack. So Ronald was asking, do these sharks ever feel like they are prey?
I'm sure the juveniles definitely are. As for the largest specimens, I don't think that there would be anything here that would eat them.
So just to confirm, that was a grey nurse shark. Nurse as in N-U-R-S-E. And many people were asking, was it female or male? Pat, did you manage to get a look?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't see the glasses. So that is how you set sharks, is by looking at the underside towards the back. A male will have a pair of glasses, and the female, they'll be absent. And that is how you set the shark. Unfortunately though, I couldn't... Oh, what now? Water eel, I think. The eel is on fire at the moment.
No way! Oh, it's squid, I think. I can see a squid.
Yes, there are 2 squid right here. Ah, yes, sorry, I mistake. I mean, it was hand signals. So yes, we do have 2 squid right here as well. Now these were requested by Sophie today. So here you go, here's your squid.
So what should we talk about, the nurse shark or the squid?
Either one we can have quite the conversation about, but things are on the squid now. Let's stick with squid, eh?
On you go, Pat. Share your wonderful knowledge about the squid.
Well, where to start with these creatures? They are hands down one of the most fascinating marine creatures there is. The whole evolution of how they got to be these squid is crazy. So they actually evolved from mollusks. So mollusks are your shell animals here down here. So your bivalves, like your clams and your mussels, and then your gastropods, like your sea snails, and then we have the cephalopods, which include your squids, your octopuses, cuttlefish, and even nautilus. Now, to see kind of the transition, you really have to look at the nautilus, because the nautilus is essentially a squid or a cephalopod-like creature, but it still has a big gastropod shell, so it's got a big spiraling shell, and you can see the tentacles extended from the front. Now, as time has evolved, they have lost this shell and have evolved into octopuses and squid. Now, during this evolution, they have evolved quite a interesting brain. It's actually very similar to a human in its shape. It has the 3 hemispheres, just like a person.
Pat loves his squid.
No. Now, have we lost visual on them?
We can only see you, the beautiful squid that you are. So just to confirm for everyone, that was a Caribbean reef squid.
And those two were actually pretty large. They were about 30 centimetres. They're about 12 inches. They're quite large. We usually see them at about 15 to 20 centimetre mark. They had a little bit of a bigger size.
So Richard's asking you to squirt some ink, Pat, because you're a beautiful looking squid. But Take Care was asking why the squid have a massively long nose. So maybe you can explain a little bit about squid's anatomy.
Then nose, did you say?
I imagine she's referring to the mantle.
Yes. So that is the mantle. So that is, I'm assuming, the bit that comes back behind the tentacles. And that actually has modified from just our earlier ancestors to evolve to contain everything that they need to survive behind their tentacles. So they have a beak, like an actual beak that comes down from their mouth between the tentacles that runs into a stomach, but then they
are very small. They're only reef squid, but they do actually consume between 30 to 60% of their body weight daily. So they are big predators. Looks can be deceiving. So Proud Cat Mama's asking Pat, do squid die after laying eggs?
Do they? Yes, they do. So the female will, after they have successfully reproduced, unfortunately they will die. Now, squid are very quick to reach sexual maturity, and so they have a very short lifespan. You can imagine for a female, sometimes only 6 months to a year.
And many people are asking about cuttlefish. Do we get cuttlefish here?
No, unfortunately, there is not any in the Caribbean.
Yes, there was some confusion once over a species in Bermuda where they were calling it a cuttlefish, but it was a squid, so it ended up becoming a scuttle. But yes, it's only the reef squid that we get here.
Hey, Emil, let's go over here, because that gold coney is here again. I think this one must be the same one, because this is the exact same bommy that we saw it at last time.
Oh wow, yeah, you can see that bright yellow fish. So are you still okay to answer a variety of questions on the squid and the shark, Pat?
Sorry?
Shall we continue to answer questions on the shark as well?
Yeah, of course.
So Love Dogs was asking what species of remora it was, and it was in fact a white fin shark sucker. So they're very, very common, and they're always latching on to the bigger animals, namely sharks, and they are part of the remora family.
There you go, I'm glad you answered that one. I actually didn't have an idea.
Yeah, I am a bit of a fan about remoras. I think they're very cool fish.
We can see this golden coney here. So this is a coney, which are groupers, a type of grouper anyway, and they come in a lot of different colour formations. Some are red and white, and then we have this very golden one. And now, usually they have a lot of blue spots on them, but they are absent from this one. But the way we can tell it is a coney is by looking at the base of the tail, just above the caudal peduncle that leads to the tail. There are 2 black spots. That is the key identifying feature of this animal.
Yeah, that is the golden coney. There are a few different colour variations, but this one is the golden. Do you know what it's doing right now, Pat? Is it just chilling? It looks really swollen underneath. Can we get a view of that, Emil? On the coney's tummy? Can you see what I mean, Pat? The belly, the underside is very swollen. Are you able to see that?
Yeah, I do see that actually. Perhaps it is a pregnant female. But yeah, you can definitely see it. It's quite enlarged around the bottom of its belly there. So this may be a pregnant female. It's really not phased by me though.
It is a coney, C-O-N-E-Y. And John was asking, are they protected like the Nassau grouper is?
Ooh, I'm not sure of the protection status of these guys. I know that a lot of groupers are protected because they are targeted pretty heavily by fishing, but I'm not sure for this particular species.
Yeah, I don't believe they are, but we'll need to clarify that one. We can see its teeth so well, a great close-up, and we can see that swollen tummy. I do wonder if it's maybe parasites as well, or if it is ready to spawn. Is there anything cleaning it, Pat? I can't see any cleaner, but
no, I thought it was being cleaned too because it's, you know, sitting very still on top of this coral bottom here, but there doesn't seem to be any cleaning it or anything interested in cleaning it either. So what it's doing right now, I'm really not sure. It's even in that orientation of tail down, head up.
Yeah, maybe it's sort of just, oh, I can see some wrasse that are maybe getting ready to clean it. It's very close to you. It really isn't bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just taking a rest. And we can see those sharp teeth inside the mouth of those really strong jaws. And most fish with their jaws, they're not attached to their skull like ours are, so they're able to really protrude those jaws out in order to catch prey. And Henk, I did see those jerking movements as well. I weren't sure what they were, that's why I thought it was maybe being cleaned. But I'm really not sure what this fish is up to. Did you notice it was jerking, Pat?
Sorry?
Did you notice the fish was kind of twitching and jerking?
Yeah, I did notice that as well. Yeah, usually that's involved with mating, isn't it?
Yeah, I was wondering if she was about to spawn. It would be interesting to stay on her and see what happens.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's acting very strangely, but also very normally at the same time. It's very strange to see a fish sitting there very still.
Well, Pat had a great dive yesterday and saw lots of couples of fish, if you like. Every fish he found was in a pair. And we do think that there has been a seasonal shift and that a lot of fish are getting ready to spawn or mate or populate, depending on what species they are.
Yes, there's a bit of love in the air, it would seem, at the moment.
We do have a trumpet fish.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I can't see it.
It's hiding in the gorgonian.
Oh, wow, yes. Very well camouflaged. Emil is on fire with his spotting today, but...
Emil has eagle eyes.
So, Lauren, just before we talk about the trumpet, can I just get a little bump up on the volume?
Sure, Jared is on that right away. How does that sound?
That's beautiful, thank you.
Alrighty.
So we haven't actually had a trumpet fish sighting for a while. But they are pretty abundant over here on this left-hand side of the reef. And now we can see it has a very cylindrical, kind of cigar-shaped body, or a trumpet-shaped body, if you will. And it uses this to sit very still in the gorgonian, just like what we're seeing now. And it does this for two reasons. Firstly, to camouflage away from predators, but most importantly, to ambush prey. So we can see it right now, it's upside down, and that is a very typical position to find these guys in, because when they're upside down, the prey is not really aware of them there when they swim underneath, and they can quickly dart forward and use that little sucky trumpet-like mouth to pluck up the prey.
Yes, they are piscivores, which all that means is they do eat other fish, solely eat fish, so they're carnivores, and they're great predators at what they do. Stealth is really their game, and persistence is their strength. So because of the body outline, the body shape, they're very stealthy predators. They rarely leave a shadow, and a lot of prey will not see them coming. And a few people have commented that they hear Derek, and yes, that is Derek saying good morning to all of you.
Hi, Derek. I think this golden coney here is enjoying the limelight. It literally swam from where we were looking at it before and just positioned itself under the camera.
Marcy was asking for a size estimate, so can you give us a size on the coney and the trumpet fish, Pat?
Yeah, sure. So, actually, they're both pretty similar in length. I would say the coney is about 25 centimetres. Oh, did we see that? The trumpet fish just aggressively attacked the damsel fish. Sorry, so the coney, they are about 25 centimetres or 10 inches, and the trumpet fish is about 35 centimetres, so about 14 inches.
And with regards to the trumpet fish, they can actually come in different colour phases. So they can be sort of a brownish reddish colour, which I would say it is now. They can also go really yellow, and they can even also flash sort of colours of blue and purple. And they, oh, I see a hamlet there as well behind the trumpet fish.
Yeah.
Wow, you're on fire. If we can just go back to the trumpet fish, Emil. Yeah, just behind the trumpet there was a little hamlet. But regarding the trumpet fish, they do actually show these colorations when they are hunting with other animals. So they kind of bomb other animals like a photo bomb, but not quite, and they hunt alongside them. But these animals are not always happy to have them. They are taking advantage of them. So for example, oh, flounder!
Wow, I did not see that there at all.
Oh, this is too much. So Pat, before we continue to get more excited, can you give us an air check?
Yeah, sure. So, in the excitement of it all, I am on 130 bar. So we have found ourselves a peacock flounder. Now, yesterday was the first time we ever got one on diveLIVE. Oh, not the first time, but the first time in a very, very long time. And now, here we go, 2 days in a row.
Crazy. We've been waiting to see one for so long, and now we see 2 in 2 days.
You don't get it. We have really only seen these in 2 or 3 metres depth. Well, 10 feet down. So.
And they are the masters of camouflage, so they are able to quickly change the pattern and coloration of their skin using special cells called chromatophores. They are able to really disguise themselves. So I'm not sure if you're able to get that visual now, but it is incredibly camouflage. Most of the time we probably do swim over these fish and not see them. So yes, the eyes are very bizarre. So when this fish is a juvenile, it will be a completely normal looking fish. And it isn't until it starts to reach adulthood that one of the eyes will migrate, apparently it's the left one, to the other side of the face, and they end up looking like this. So we're a little bit out of focus, but you can see the eyes and that sort of downturned mouth there. Isn't that incredible? The thing that is pumping up and down is actually the gill. The other gill is directly on the underside of that one.
And we actually learned yesterday from one of our good friends, one of our good diveLIVE buddies, that these flounders, as Lauren said, the eye does migrate, and it is always the left-hand eye that does the migration.
Yeah, so it seems really bizarre. You can see the eyes both looking in completely different directions, and they're both independent of one another. And this unique body shape and design is perfect for how this animal lives. It's able to just sort of swim along the tops of the hard pan or the sea floor, and it's really able to disguise itself because it's so flat. And it's even able to bury itself in the sand with only its eyes peeking out at the top. So it does look very bizarre, but it's a perfect form of evolution to its survival.
It's very weird to see it settled on a rock as well. Generally they will stick on the sand because they can actually use these modified fish to slip a sandal on themselves, like that. They'll quickly put it all over themselves and then they'll completely bury themselves under the sand. So they can sit there with those true eyes just sitting out enough so they can still see what's going on above and around them.
So Marcy was asking what is all over its body. So that is just the skin coloration, the pattern. It is called a peacock flounder, and that is the coloration it has. It's using to blend into the background. So where Emil is right now, you can actually see that it's really camouflage. Especially if you were swimming above it, you might not even notice that fish.
Gee whiz, what an amazing dive it's been so far. We have a barracuda cruise cast up here as well. There is just so many different types of fish around at the moment.
I'm after the turtle, Pat.
Yeah, that would just top it off. Especially if it was a green or a loghead.
So Andrea's asking where's Ariel's flounder, and yes, that was one of my favourite characters growing up, and I don't believe it is a true representation of an animal that's in the ocean. So we can see that barracuda. Is it quite far away?
No. We're actually pretty close to it. So this is the great barracuda.
And you can see the way it's just barely moving and gliding through the water, using its powerful muscular body to swim. The ultimate predator with those big jaws and strong teeth. So this is a great barracuda species.
And they are, just like that trumpet fish that we saw just before, they are an ambush predator. And what this means is that you can sit there very, very still, gliding behind or around something or camouflaging next to something, and then they will just patiently wait for the right moment and then strike at whatever it's going to eat, generally a small fish.
But they really choose their moments. I have personally never witnessed a barracuda striking its prey. Have you, Pat?
No, I actually haven't. I think they're generally more curious about us and what we're doing. So the barracudas will sometimes quite purposely come over and have a look, and we'll hang around for a while just simply out of curiosity. See, it's got a torpedo-shaped body, and this is to keep it nice and streamlined for those big bursts of speed that it needs. And it can actually also light and darken its colours so that it can blend in with the sand or the water.
Yeah, Take Care mentioned it looks very grumpy, and I'm sure it's not. It's just that sort of downward turned mouth, which most of the big predators on the reef actually have. You guys are doing a really good job of keeping up with this barracuda.
Yeah, it's a very chilled out barracuda. I think, well, most of the time barracudas are pretty relaxed actually.
So just going back to the flounder, everyone's crazy about it, me too. Proud Cat Mama was asking about the reproduction.
Sorry?
peacock flounders reproduction. So just to help out there, they are broadcast spawners. So the female will release eggs and the males will come along and fertilize them. This is very similar for most of the fish on the reef. And they are said to be carried about in the current with the plankton that we refer to always, and they will hatch after 15 days. And Pat has gone and found my favourite fish.
Yes, the scrolled starfish. There's actually a pair of them this year, and they have been a bit social with each other. As we're swimming over, they did give each other a couple of bumps, and then one of them aggressively chased another fish away. So that kind of tells me that they might be mating or about to mate.
Yeah, so this is the scrawled filefish, sometimes called the scribbled filefish. And this can be the largest of all the filefish. It can grow up to 100 centimeters, which is obviously 1 meter, around 3 feet. So this one is definitely not that size, I don't think, but that's how big they can get.
I think we're about to see some mating because this one here is changing its colours rapidly.
Oh,
and swimming
wow.
around.
Okay, let's stay back and have a watch.
Yeah, so let's hang back a little bit and see what happens between these two.
Pat, you must be like Cupid on the reef. They're all mating around you.
Yeah, yeah. Bringing the love.
So we can see that they're two different, they're showing different colours.
And can you see one of them is really aggressively extending its trigger?
Yes, I can now. So it's more of a spine, a single spine, like a thorn, that this filefish keeps putting up and down. So it's definitely trying to communicate something. Oh, I'm eagerly waiting to see some romance.
Yeah, yeah. Does look like they're definitely doing something together.
Is one swimming off now?
When we did see something similar yesterday where we had two filefish. No, was it filefish or... I've had a mental blank. White spotted filefish, that's right. We had two white spotted filefish. Acting very similar. One of them was erecting their spine quite a bit. And they were dancing around and picking at a patch of algae. And then it looked like they laid their eggs on the algae. And I think these three are still doing it. How are we going for cable milk? Okay, so we can't get over to where they are now, unfortunately. So we'll leave them.
You do have lots of cable left on the surface. So Love Dog suggested putting some candles and music on, Pat.
Yeah, really set the mood. So, that's unfortunate that we didn't get to see the end result of that, but still another exciting sighting for an exciting dive. This has been great.
So I'm just catching up with some of the questions we saw on Facebook. We have had some problems with Facebook, but unfortunately I'm not able to work out what the questions are relating to. So please do send them in again, and I will do my best to answer them. So Pat, can we just have an air check?
Yes, we can. Where are we? I am on, hang on, 90 bar.
Pat does not breathe anymore. And a big hi to Megan, who is watching from Johannesburg. It's great to have it's great to have people from all over the world watching. And for those who have just tuned in, it has been an action-packed dive, starting off with a very large nurse shark and lots of fishy mating activity. So Pat is now got to find me a turtle.
Yeah. Oh, that would be just unreal. It would really pop off. a really great dive. But everywhere I'm looking right now, there's just activity. There's a lot of fish in pairs. I think we're onto something, Lauren, with this mating season, because
I think so too. We do have a mated pair of banded butterflies ahead, but that's quite usual for these this species to travel around as a mated pair. Patty has shared some information with us, and she said just to mention the flounder's eyes, left or right, migrate differently depending on the species. Very interesting. We are going to look that up because it was put forward to us yesterday.
There you go. I've got two barjacks feeding very aggressively right here.
Another pair?
Yes, a pair, believe it or not.
Everything is happening in twos. We really do feel there has been some sort of shift, so we will ask around for the experts around here and see if they can shed more light on this sort of seasonal variations within this region. I could be wrong. I don't have any scientific evidence to back that up. We just feel that there has been some kind of shift in the water and the species behavior and what we're seeing.
Yeah, definitely. And synchronous spawning events. So synchronous spawning means when there's a lot of spawning happening all at the same time. And I'm not sure with fish, but when I did my on it, I had to look at it in invertebrates, and a lot of invertebrates, even though they were completely different species, sometimes even completely different phyla, would all still spawn in the same set season. So it wouldn't be unlikely to think that it's the same here with the fish.
Well, our really good friend and mother, Tracy, is watching, so we will ask her if she and Sergio can maybe inform us of any patterns later on, and we will share them with you.
Yes, definitely. The all-knowing couple of Tracy and Sergio, they've been amazing help. Oh, I got another soapfish.
Oh, no way. Oh, it is. So again, just like the flounder, we had never seen one of these in a live dive, and now we've seen two in a row. So this is the greater soapfish.
So these guys are called soapfish because if you were to rub its skin, you would get a soapy, mucousy discharge. And now, I believe this is toxic, is it not, Laura?
Yes, that is correct. So the discharge that you will get on your hands, which kind of lathers like soap, will be toxic. And it's a great defense for these guys against predators. They do look a bit prehistoric and eel looking. We're getting a great view of the face right now.
They do look like very slimy fish. And they prefer to hide in very tight crevices, so you'll quite often see them really wedged in somewhere with those malleable kind of, yeah, as far as an eel-like bodies.
Oh, that vanished quickly. Yeah, they are nocturnal, so they're way more active at night time, as a lot of the fish here are. And during the day they are normally trying to find a place to rest, so I believe that's what this one is probably doing. This has just been a crazy dive, Pat. I'm so ecstatic about that nurse shark we saw.
Yeah. It's just been one thing onto the next, hasn't it? I absolutely love dives like this, where don't even have to look for anything. Everything just comes to us. Like when we're sitting on that bobby before looking at the golden pony, and then the hamlet decided to join, the flounder decided to join, the trumpet fish decided to join.
Well, interestingly, Tracy has just mentioned that she believes there's a shift as well, so we are going to definitely do a lot more research into this. I know in other places around the world, the Maldives being a perfect example, there is seasonal changes that do bring about behavioural shifts in fish due to their feeding and their mating. So it could possibly be something like that also occurring here. I think we have a Graysby up ahead.
Yes, I believe so. So that is another species of grouper.
Yes, so groupers do actually belong to the wider sea bass family, which is a really large grouping of fish. And there is around 150 species worldwide in this larger sea bass grouping. And we can see that this one is being cleaned. There's actually a fish, a goby, darting in and out of its mouth and its gills.
Yes, you can see that. Those little couple of leader gobies there. Groupers, I reckon I've spent most times I've seen groupers, they have been getting cleaned. They don't really seem to do much else but sit there very still and get clean. So they must be very fresh animals.
Yeah, they must smell really good. But it's really interesting that you say that, because there is actually a lot of studies done on this and they really don't seem to move much. A lot of people, it is anecdotal evidence, but it seems like groupers only move with a purpose. And if they don't have a purpose, then they just chill, they just sit down. And a lot of groupers are said, again, I don't think it's backed scientifically, that they have personalities. Now that's a very difficult thing to judge, but a lot of groupers around the world have names, and once you start naming animals, it's normally those with personalities. So groupers are said to be a little bit different than the other fish that we see here. And the Graysby can actually live up to 10 years. They are a long living group. Not only that, the Nassau grouper can actually live for up to 28 years, and the Jewfish, which I believe is the same as the Goliath grouper, can live for up to 38 years. So they are long living fish.
So now we'll come up and start to head a bit shallower, because I have only 10 bar left and I really want to find this turtle before the end of the night.
So just to clarify, Pat means 60 bar. He means 10 bar left to dive with us. He's not on 10 bar.
Oh, so I think I found a new species of hamlet.
Oh, no way.
Or is this a butter hamlet?
Oh, wow. You've literally found everything apart from the turtle, but I'll forgive you. Oh, would you look at that? I'm just checking now. I believe this could be the yellow belly hamlet.
What one, sorry?
The yellow belly. So this is a yellow belly hamlet, one we have never seen before. So this is another one for the species list.
Yes, right. Ticking all the boxes today.
Well, almost all.
Yeah, almost all. But we still do have one more dive today, and hopefully we can find that turtle. Yesterday we were searching the whole dive for a turtle, and literally the moment after we went live, who did we see but Gretchen the turtle. So they are still hanging about. It's just a matter of them coming to say hello.
So I am receiving the questions on Facebook a bit late, and we do have one from Elaine saying, would he never swallow the small fish? And that is exactly what cleaning is all about. It's a symbiotic relationship. So the cleaners will make sure the other fish know that they are cleaners. That's their function. They will show this with body language and behavior. And the big fish will never ever eat them. It's almost like an agreement. The cleaner gets food by cleaning all the sort of parasites and algae off the big fish, and the big fish get cleaned. So it's a mutual symbiotic relationship. And just to add on to that, Pat is doing a great job of doing these amazing dives. I'm so happy and so jealous. I am out the water for a few days with an ear infection, but I will be back soon.
And I am now on 50 bucks. I'm trying to wrap up the dive. But oh Lord, how exciting was that? What a great dive that was. The trumpeted fish, the groupers, the firefish. It's just a whole array of activity here today. So I'm really glad that you can all come along, and thank you so much for diving with me today. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, Lauren. And I'll be seeing you down here again at 11 AM for entertainment time.
Thank you, Pat. You're my star. And thank you, diveLIVE family. We'll see you again in a few hours.